we'll go on discussing it. First, I think everybody has read about course paper, the page number 1, 2, 3, everybody has. So today's lecture is related to science and technology. And preliminary examination, the topic is called as general science. And what they have included in general science, and they have given you the 8 topics. So the first is related to physical, and this physics, nuclear science, as well as space science. And some topics of the electronics are also asking that. The second is chemistry, including organic, biochemistry, and chemistry. There are certain other questions. Then botany, activity, ecology. Then it is we are taking into consideration the segregation and what are the topics in that particular section we have to study. So now read the first question.
How is the atomic fuel waste produced in the atomic reactor disposed of? Option 1, with water flow through gutters, streams and rivers. Second, dumping on open ground away from the human settlers. Third, in the underground cells in sealed stainless steel containers. And 4, at the bottom of the ocean in the sealed container.
So this is related to, this question is related to nuclear science. And what we have to study in nuclear science, in main examination they are going to ask you a lot of questions related to the development of India's atomic energy plants. So recently you might have read in newspaper this Tarapur uranium-235. What is the stimulator here? They use the cadmium rods, or it is called as the cadmium oxide. Then what is moderator used here is graphite either or KD1. Then what type of byproducts you are getting here? You will be getting strontium, you will be getting what you call the plutonium to disposal here. And also various types of this alpha rays, beta rays, gamma, X-rays, whatever we want can be produced by this particular reaction. And what is the nuclear waste? So this material is called as again nuclear waste, especially these two. So likewise, to take PHWR, so then what is atomic waste? What is stimulator? What is moderator? What are the byproducts? And what is the nuclear waste? Or what are the radiations produced? Similarly, go to FDR. So what happened? You need a nuclear fuel. So in our country, the nuclear fuel uranium, the deposits of uranium are very few. So it is said that hardly we are having 5 lakh tons of this uranium-235. But that is again raw material. So this uranium to be feasible, you need to that uranium available in this visible form, or this is radioactive form. In our country, we are having uranium-237, and this is not that visible or radioactive as 235. So we mix this 235 with 237 in a certain ratio, and then we get that uranium called as enriched uranium. And this enriched uranium is used in PHWR. Then for that, stimulator is going to cadmium rods. Sometimes you require boron rods. But the moderator used here is liquid sodium. Sometimes heat water is also used, and likewise you get a lot of energy in the form of heat. That heat is passed or used for the boiling of water. Then vapor is created. That vapor under pressure is pushed on the turbines, and you get the electricity generated. So this is the way that PHWR started functioning in our country. At present, if you see, India is having, I told you just now, research reactors are how many? 10 research reactors. The power reactors are how many? The first power reactor, 1969. The last power reactor which has been started functioning where? Kudankulam. The Kudankulam last that power reactor is of LWR, that is light water reactor. So light water reactor, that is the last one which has been commissioned last 15 days back, that is in first week of July. So that, including that, so this power reactor, that is a 25th power reactor. So already 24 power reactors are there in our country. So BWR of 2. Then how many PHWR are there? FBR is only one FBR we have. TBR again only one. So one FBR, one TBR, 2 BWR. So what this become? How many this become? 2 and this 4. And LWR, how many you have started? 2 again. So 4 and 2, 6. 6 minus 25, it is 19. So 19 PHWR reactors we are having at present. And what is the fuel used in those reactors? Enriched uranium. That enriched uranium, again we are importing that. So we are importing maximum of it from Russia. And you might be knowing this Kazakhstan. So the Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in Asia, and it is having number 2 deposits. As far as the uranium deposits in the world are considered, the number 2 is Kazakhstan. Number 1 is Australia. Number 3 is US. 4 is Canada. If you go likewise, India doesn't figure in the first 100 also. So I told you our deposits are hardly 5 lakh tons. And those 5 lakh tons can be used only to produce not more than 7 lakh megawatt. And present our nuclear, this from these 25 reactors, presently we are producing hardly 4,000 megawatt nuclear energy. And this may we have a target by 2020 our nuclear power reactors will be producing at least 10,000 megawatt. Then by 2030 it will double. So then number of the nuclear reactors will be double. Now what is the question they ask over here? See, this waste produced in an atomic reactor is disposed of either in the form of research reactor or power reactor. So how many total research and power reactors are built by India? 35. Out of this 35, all are not working. If you go to BRC, only one power plant is presently functioning, and that is this research reactor functioning, and that is Dhruv. All other 6 nuclear reactors were stopped. Cyrus it stopped functioning last year because we signed that treaty with America in 2008, and Cyrus was considered as a non-civilian but military nuclear reactors. Why it was considered military nuclear reactors? We are our first nuclear explosion at where it was Pokhran in Gujarat. Dr. Raja Ramana was the supervising scientist, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and whatever nuclear material for the atomic bomb was required, it was produced by that Cyrus. Then in 1998, we had a 5 times, we did that on 11th and 12th May, we did almost 5 nuclear explosions. One of them was called as the India's atomic fusion bomb, or it was called the thermal bomb. And for that also, the physical material was taken by from Cyrus. So the Cyrus was providing the material required for the nuclear warheads what we are having. So how many nuclear warheads we are having at present? It is secret. But as far as the international reports are considered, it is said that India is having at least 100 plus nuclear warheads, or those many bombs. Now the first bomb which was exploded in world on, it was on a August or July? August. Which August? 6th August. The bomb which was dropped on Hiroshima was called as a Fat Man or Little Boy. So on the 9th there was another bomb. On 6th there was another bomb. So the bomb which exploded on Hiroshima was called as a Little Boy. Now why it was called as a Little Boy? The weight of that bomb was hardly 1.5 kilograms. Now any nuclear bomb, how it is produced? See, that critical mass is very important. Suppose we are having more than 1.6 kg of uranium-235, automatically that will start nuclear chain reaction, what we call, it will start. You can't control it, and that will explode, and it is called as a nuclear bomb. Now how this is produced? So what they do, they had this 0.8 kg mass, another 0.8 kg mass. These two are separated by some particular material. When you want to drop that, you just remove that whatever the material in between. These two will come together. The mass will be more than 1.6 kilograms. Critically, it will start nuclear reactions, explosion, and then you are sending loss will be there. So this was a little bomb. Then there is another type of a bomb, which is what was called the Fat Man. So the weight of that bomb was more than 60 kilograms, and the plutonium was used. So this was made up of uranium-235, this was made up of plutonium. The criticality or the critical mass of the plutonium is more than 16 kilograms. Again, the same way they are separated from each other. And India's, I was telling you about this first phase. We are using enriched uranium, either or pure uranium. But for the FBR, we are using plutonium only, or it is for the uranium plutonium oxide. For this PBR, using only thorium. Now, as far as India's power plant or the program is considered, if your power program is considered, it is of 3 stages. PSWR already almost 25, and another 5 reactors are being built. So it will be more than 30, and we are using the fuel either enriched uranium. Then FBR, plutonium will be atomic fuel used over here, and presently this process was started at Indira Gandhi Atomic Research Center in 1985. In 2005, it took almost 20 years to develop this technology indigenously. So the first FBR of 500 megawatt is presently functioning at Calcutta, Mumbai. But commercial reactors we are not able to develop because we lack certain technology in that. And that technology again we need to import from various countries. It is said that suppose that electricity requirement in the world, it is France, where 75% of its supply is by nuclear reactors. So in France only, that is the number 1 country. Another I told you Kazakhstan. Same thing. In Kazakhstan, it is said that almost 85% of electricity is produced from this nuclear power or the nuclear supply or the nuclear energy source here. And in India, I told you how many? Only 500 megawatt is by this PSW. In France, they are not going for the PSW, but they are going for the FBR. So what are the advantages of PSW, FBR over the PSW? So it is like this. In PSW, suppose you are using 100 units of the fuel. So the only 20 are used, 80 go waste, and that is why they are very costly. So suppose we are having uranium 235, 100. Here I told you like this. So for any power reactor of 550 megawatt, you need at least 20 grams of uranium per year. So kilograms, and that 20 kilograms you are using, but out of that hardly, as I told you, 30 to 40% is used. Everything goes as a nuclear waste, and that is very, you can say, it is considered problematic. And so there are a lot of problems as far as the PSW are considered. Economically, they are not that efficient. We are wasting a lot of energy also. The nuclear mishap, that is, you can say the problem of the nuclear waste and other problems can be there. But FBR, suppose you are having 100 units of plutonium with you, almost 70% are used for the production of the electricity, only 30% waste. And that is why it is said that the same thing is more productive than PSW. And that is why 80% of power reactors are of PSW. Sorry, this FBR. And Areva is the company who is producing it. And the same thing is they are going to cooperate with India also at the time. Now we are concentrating on TBR. TBR is thorium-based reactor. Now enriched uranium is naturally available. Plutonium, artificially produced. Thorium, naturally available. And India is the number 2 country with thorium deposits. And that is why we are developing this technology. So you need to study all this. So going back to our, I was just telling you what I was telling you now. The last question. That lady you have to tell me. So what I was telling now.
India is the number 2 country with thorium reactors.
No, what is the basics? Why we started this type of discussion today? You tell me. I asked you to read the question. Why I made you to read the question?
Everybody should pay attention to it.
Huh? You are not paying attention. That's why I said. That's why I made you to read. No.
There should be participation from both the sides.
No. That was not also there. So because I know. If I am talking also, you are participating. I have that much belief in you. Don't worry about that. So, but why this type of experiment we are doing this year?
The question is related to the disposal and we should understand the working of the nuclear reactor.
Correct. So this is very important. So why we are going this way? I told you, preparation for this exam requires concept clearance, application and application. So the question is this. This question is related to the atomic energy or atomic science. The part of atomic science is the nuclear energy. So then, as far as I told you the basic concepts, what is atom, what are the various theories, structure of atom, then application is nothing but the experiment going in CERN or that LHC. I told you there are how many particles, sub-particles in atom? 32. So which are those 32 particles and which one is important? Because the Higgs boson is one of the, out of those 32 particles, Higgs boson is one of it. And in these years, UPSC Prelim, they asked the question on the Higgs boson. So recently Higgs boson was discovered. What are its applications? And they give the 4 alternatives and you have to choose one. Similarly, this is the one of the question asked on this, but this question is related to nuclear power plant. And here they are talking about nuclear waste. So what is nuclear waste? How it is produced? Then how it is vitrified? So the word vitrification is very important in relation with nuclear power plant. So can anybody tell me the answer? Which one? Now see, with water flow through gutters, streams and rivers, this is not possible. I told you. So that's why it is. Then dumping on open ground away from human settlements, this is not done. Again, this is a radioactive thing, and radioactive and this radios can travel at the speed of light. That is 3 lakh kilometers per second. That is the speed of any radioactive wave. So that is why that is not possible. So 1 is not there, 2 is not there. Now you find it out from the alternatives. 3. This is the answer. Remember 3. In the underground cells is sealed in a stainless steel containers and this has to be done. Now here you should know this is nothing but guidelines for the nuclear waste disposal are controlled throughout the world by which agency? IAEA. So can anybody know what is IAEA? IAEA. International. I is international. Atomic. Correct. International Atomic Energy Agency. Now, headquarters of this IAEA is at Brussels. Now, why this IAEA is important as far as Muhammad Gandhi is concerned? Now, you know the things are happening. There is a lot of political instability where in Egypt, their president is Amin and their vice president is Muhammad al-Barri. He got Nobel Peace Prize. So why he got Nobel Peace Prize? Because he was almost general secretary of this IAEA for almost 15 years. And during his tenure, he was able to convince all the nuclear countries. So there are it is said that throughout the world there are 45 nuclear countries. Their group is called as energy, nuclear supply group. There is one Western arrangement. Then there is the Australian group. Then I have told you energy. Then there is a countries who have signed CTBT, Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. Then there are the countries who have again signed NPT, that is nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Then there are the group of the countries who have signed FMCT design. So Physical Material Control Design. So they have signed it. So all these things were controlled by IAEA. Now Iran is building its own nuclear power plant near Tehran. And you know that their earlier president, who was their earlier president? Mohammad Ahmadinejad. So he was saying that we are developing this nuclear research center for the nuclear power generation. But as such, Iran is the leading oil producing country. So for energy, they don't need nuclear power plants, but they are still developing this. They are going to create WMD, that is weapon of mass destruction. Earlier, that particular this whole strategy for the construction of WMD was started by Iraq. Then George W. Bush attacked Iraq, Saddam Hussein was killed. The same thing was going to happen over here, but America was engaged with Laden, that is in Afghanistan, and then there was a change in power. Barack Obama came to power, so America changed its strategy, attacking this particular Iran. So the Iran is presently landed only because of this nuclear power technology. Then there is another country called as America calls three countries in the world as evil countries. For them they call them that those countries are known as the rascal countries. So one is Iran. Which is the other? Pakistan. No. Pakistan. Pakistan is a very good country. China. You should know that as far as the America's economy is considered, the investment, foreign investment in America is done at least 60% by the Chinese country. So the Chinese are really economically running America. And so that is why it was for the first time understood by this Richard Nixon, American president. So he sent Henry Kissinger to have good relations, to start dialogue with China, and they had developed their good relations. So my question was three countries or rascal countries as classified by American CIA and NDS. One is Iran. Second is
North Korea. North Korea.
South Korea.
North
Korea is second. Which one is the third? This particular third country is called as the Pakistan of America. How Pakistan troubles India? Likewise, that country troubles even today America. And it is said that in international politics, you can change your friends, but you can't change your neighbor. That is the reality with India. So whatever happens, Pakistan is going to be there. We can go away from Pakistan, so that is the reality. The same problem is faced by America, and that is Cuba. So Cuba, North Korea, and Iran, they are classified by group countries. Why? Because they started to develop their nuclear. And the latest country who has tested this nuclear weapon is nothing but North Korea. So North Korea did that atomic explosion last year. This year also they threatened that they will do the explosion. Then in 2008 they also did that. So you should know that who are the countries who have done, what are the countries who have done the nuclear testing. As far as the Asian continent is considered, India was the first country to have this nuclear research reactor. Apsara was created in 1956. At that time, China was not having at all any nuclear establishment. But in 1961, they started their nuclear reactor, and in 1963, they did the first atomic explosion in Asia. India was number 2 as far as atomic explosion in Asia was considered. It was in 1974. Pakistan was third in 1998. Fourth was North Korea in 2009. Then it was said that Iraq, Israel, and this Iran, they were planning to have that, but unfortunately, we can say they were detained by our International Atomic Agency. So, question number 2, you return. Next one. You had a question paper with you, no? Yeah. So go to page number 4. Then there are about 10 lines below. That is question number 2. Read that.
Which of the following statements are correct? Gamma radiation can be blocked by the simple point. Our skin can be blocked.
Can be blocked or can block?
Can alpha radium, but
Radiation.
weakened gamma ray can be reached up to the bone. Weak gamma ray can be penetrate a 20-inch thin core wall.
You're okay, man? this one problem is not there. So this is one of the critical things or the prerequisite to appear for this exam. To go for the fourth sentence.
Gamma radiation can be blocked by a lead wall, a stainless steel wall, or a control wall.
Okay, no problem. No, see this from this question, what is the concept you should know here? Correct. Question related to the radiation, nuclear radiation. So you should first know what are the properties of the nuclear radiations. What are the various types of the nuclear radiations? Just now I wrote here alpha, beta, gamma. For that matter, you should know electromagnetic radiation range. So the gamma rays are more strong or more, so they're more powerful rays. So they can penetrate anything in the world. And so that is why gamma rays are having various applications in surgery. Suppose you want to do the blood test surgery, so then gamma rays are used. Then at the same time, gamma rays are used in the nuclear various military established gamma rays are used. So what are the properties of gamma rays? What are their applications? We should know. What are the properties of alpha, beta, ultraviolet rays, infrared rays? So it is very important to know all that. X-rays, microwave. So there are the question on the microwave also. So what is the answer here? Can anybody?
2 and 4.
Huh?
2 and 4.
Correct. So answer is 2 and 4. Next. Third number.
Biological mapping of the moon. 4. Biological mapping of the moon.
Yeah. So now this is question related to what? Space science, or it is called as the astronomy. Now as far as that topic in main examination is considered, so we should know the development of India's nuclear technology, and you are supposed to know in these particular 3 stages. Likewise, India's development in space technology. Now India was pioneer as far as atomic technology was considered, and our present rank in development of this atomic technology is 5th. So we are the 5th country as far as the nuclear technology is concerned. So what is our number as far as space technology is considered? Anybody has an idea? See, India is leading in software technology or DPU. So we are number 1 in that. We are number 2 in biotechnology. Then we are number 6 in nanotechnology. We are number 5 in nuclear technology. So likewise, what is our number in space technology? So can anybody tell me what is the difference between space, sky, atmosphere and universe? So what is universe? What is space? What is sky? And what is atmosphere? Based on that, these are the basic things you should know while studying for space technology. And as far as India's space technology program is considered, it is in 3 parts. So like this. So the first is called as the satellite development program. Second is called as the satellite launch vehicle program. And third is called as the India's missile development program. So as far as the space technology is considered, India's program you should understand or study under these 3 heads. Then as far as the satellites are considered, so again there are the research satellites, or you can call it the experimental satellites. These are called as experimental or research satellites. And then next, what you call as the applied satellites. And these applied satellites are presently we are at the 2 what we call as the streams. One is called as the INSAT and another is called as the IRS. So what is INSAT? What is IRS? Then if you see these satellite launch vehicles, we have SLV, then we have ASLV, we have PSLV, we have GSLV. Similarly, whatever the missile technology we had, so there are again 5 types of missiles with our country: SSM, SAM, ICBM, then IRBM. Likewise, we ask you various questions to this. So just don't write down here. Just pay attention to this. What just I want to make clear with you that what to read and what not to read after reading these questions. So, experimental satellite, this particular thing started in our country in 1963. I told you Apsara was the first nuclear reactor, was commissioned in 1956. After 7 years of the commissioning of Apsara, we started developing satellites. The first experimental satellite which was launched in space with the help of Russian space agency is called as the Glove Cosmos. India is ISRO. So ISRO launched the first satellite Aryabhat in 1974 with the help of Russian satellite launch vehicle. So as far as this satellite development technology is considered, India is presently self-sufficient. Any type of satellite we can develop. Satellites again are classified in two ways: polar synchronic satellites and geosynchronic satellites. Now that recently, this year, India has launched 2 satellites. Can anybody tell me in the month of September, either or October, we are having that ISRO has planned mission to Mars. So taking that satellite, ISRO satellite from that Sriharikota to this Mars. So what type of satellite launch vehicle we will be using? So that is nothing but PSLV. So that PSLV 25, C-25, they are going to use. And today only our ex ISRO chairman G. Madhavan Nair, he criticized ISRO's this adventure to Mars. He said that instead of doing this type of experiments, we should concentrate developing this IRS, Indian Remote Sensing Satellites, which can be commercially used for the purpose of communication, transport, or other utility. So you should know about that is updation here I am telling you. So India has started its what we call as a GPS system. Present GPS system, whatever we are using is the GPS system of United States. Then there is the one Galileo GPS system of European Union. Then Russia has also started their own GPS system. India is also planning its own GPS system, and the first that GPS system satellite was launched 1 month back, and its name is NRSSM. So all these short forms, what do you understand by that? So you should know. And likewise, we will be launching almost 16 satellites. Now India is capable to launch polar synchronic satellites on its own. So we have developed self-sufficiency in launching these satellites. But to launch this geosynchronic satellite in its orbit, that is almost 36,000 kilometers away from Earth's surface, we are not able, because of the GSLV technology is not that competent, is not that self-sufficient. For that we need the cryogenic technology, and this is very highly, you can say, advanced technology, and for the last 20 years our scientists are not able to develop this technology. And there are certain, you can say, sanctions against India as far as this technology is concerned. Why? Because with the help of this technology we are able to develop these missiles. This is surface to surface missile. Prithvi is our surface to surface missile. Again, these missiles are again any missile you take, cruise missile, and another is called the ordnance missile. We had that BrahMos cruise missile, but it is of variety SSM, surface to surface missile, surface to air missile. Then intercontinental ballistic method, inter-range ballistic missile. So likewise, we are having this was started in 1984 by Indira Gandhi, and that program was called the IGMDT, Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, and APG was made in charge of this in 1984 only. This SLU program we started in 1978. Satellite program, I told you we started in 1963. Our INSAT, this what we call the INSAT series. So INSAT series is of 4 types: 1A, 1E. There are the 5 satellites. Then 2A up to 2E, 5 satellites. 3A, 3E. Out of these, only 4 have been launched. 3E has yet to be launched, and then these satellites are going to up to 4G. These are going to the 10 satellites, and they change the name of these series also. So why these such satellites have been launched? What are they used? They are originally launched with 15 years, and these satellites require energy. How they get that energy? From the solar cells. So what is that solar technology used in the satellites? Then there are C-band, Ku band. What do you understand the C-band, Ku band? What they are important? And how these bands are vital as far as the communication technology is considered. In IRS, India is having one of the best IRS system in the world, remote sensing satellites. They are Indian remote sensing satellites, and they mainly work on this principle, linear imaging synchronic system. So this imaging system is important, and this is used not only by India, but it is used by America. 80% of India's remote sensing satellites are hired by Americans, that is by NASA. So from this we can get the idea, even though we are late starter in this particular space technology, presently we are number 5, but we are lagging behind China in both the technology, atomic power plants as well as space technology. But we are way ahead of this Japan. Japan's atomic this space agency is JAXA, Japanese Space Agency. Then China, then India, then European Space Agency. All those 28 countries are together, and they are having their space launching stations at French Guiana in South America. So they ask you the questions related to this. So from this, here whatever the question they are asked, it is Chandrayaan. So again, the Chandrayaan mission comes under this. The mission was started with that Chandrayaan C-17 or 18. That was the PSLV C-17 or 18 was used for that. So all this information about science and technology of our country, the latest one, you get from that India 2013. Or you can go to the website of ISRO. You can go to the website of Atomic Power Plant, and from Atomic Energy Commission. We are at the AEC. So the AEC website will give you all the details. ISRO website will give you all the details related to this. And in prelims as well as the mains, at least 20 marks are allocated to these two streams of science and technology. Then next, so what is the answer here? Anybody knows? So the last, biological mapping is not possible. So when biological mapping will be possible, if somebody goes and resides over there and they had other things, it's not possible. So one thing we are correct. And that Mars mission is for that only. Why we are sending the Mars mission? Just others are saying, Japan has sent one their mission, but unfortunately their satellite had not reached to Mars itself. Then European Space Agency sent the mission. Their satellite also has not reached Mars. Then India is starting. So India is going to be the third country which will be launching its mission to Mars. We were sixth country to launch mission to Mars. To Moon. So they can ask a question like this. Even China is not trying to send their mission to Mars, but we are doing that. And that is why Madhav Nair says that it is not going to be successful because already there is a failure for Japan, there is a failure for European Union, European Space Agency. Also Russia and China, even they are more advanced in this technology than India, they are not trying. And we are doing this. So instead of whatever the money or the technology we will be spending or the research we will be doing in this particular mission, we should better concentrate on this remote sensing satellite technology. That is what he is hoping at. So he says that once, suppose by chance this particular mission is successful, but whatever information that particular satellite will be sending back from Mars to Earth, that will take at least 6 months to reach over there. And by that 6 months, there is going to be the political instability. Suppose Modi comes to power, he will say that no, we are not going to go for this, let us go for this. Then we will have to discount something like that. And so that is why he is saying that we will go for this. But ISRO, the present, who is the chairman of ISRO, present chairman? Okay, so find it out and that. Okay. Okay, so Marwan Nair was implicated in one scam, in a scandal, corruption scandal, and that is why he is criticized. Otherwise, this is our one of the very good mission. It will help to get international, to capture international market. Antrix Corporation is ISRO's commercial wing, and it tries to get a lot of foreign, we can say, exchange by supplying. I told you the remote sensing satellites. They are giving at least $1,000 every year by this as a fee or as a royalty from remote sensing satellites. They are using these cameras. The next, here the answer is D. The next question, you read next one.
Fourth, the function of heavy water in a nuclear reactor is to first slow down the speed of neutrons.
Okay, so that is the answer. So that is moderate. So heavy water is a moderator in nuclear reactor. Now the next is that increase the speed of neutrons. One should not use such things because the speed of the neutrons is increased, then that nuclear fission will be more faster and that will be atomic bomb. So we need to stop the speed of the nuclear neutrons, and to absorb those neutrons, heavy water, graphite, liquid sodium, or certain other materials are used. And these materials should be used only in PHWR, what I have written. But in FBR, you don't need that. So neutrons can be also, their speed can be increased of the neutrons to produce certain radioactive waves. Now how these X-rays are produced? By using neutrons only. At BSC, blue is our reactor which produces X-rays, hard as well as the soft X-rays, and they are supplied throughout the country to the hospitals, to the military establishment, to the police establishment and certain industries, and they are produced by this acceleration of the neutrons, and the instrument used called as the accelerator. So, B, increase the speed of neutrons, accelerator. That whatever the instrument they are using. Cool down the reactor, what they are using? It is called the coolant. Coolant is used. Whatever coolants are used. So we have seen that water, normal water is used as a coolant as well as liquid sodium. So liquid sodium and normal water. The next is stop the nuclear reaction. Decommissioning of the nuclear reactor is called. So for stopping the nuclear reactors, you have to remove the stimulator. So 2 years back, there was a tsunami attack at this Fukushima. The Daiichi nuclear power plants, they were totally damaged. So they have to decommission it. So how to decommission that? So you have to take it out, the stimulators, especially those nuclear rods, especially boron, metal or cadmium rods. So remove them on the grass court. Now, why this happened? Earlier, Murray was not able to do this. And you know that Murray, Roger Federer, Djokovic, they all started training or playing tennis together at the age of 12. Now, everybody on the grass court. Now, why this happened? Earlier, Murray was not able to do this. And you know that Murray, Roger Federer, Djokovic, they all started training or playing tennis together at the age of 12. Now, everybody that Nadal, Federer is 32-year-old, Nadal is 30, and this Murray is 26-year-old. And they belong to one school in Barcelona, that is in Spain, that Nadal's village or the Nadal's city. Now here, why this particular fellow and Murray was able to overcome or give more, that Djokovic was not able to return Murray's services. So the videos of Djokovic were analyzed by Ivan Lendl. So Ivan Lendl is considered a particular school, the tennis, one of the legend in the tennis, and that too Glasgow. He was not able to win Wimbledon once in his that particular career, but he has around about more than 12 Grand Slam titles. So Lendl analyzed this Djokovic's that service, and based on that, his backhand and returning style, and then the technology was used to analyze how the service is written and what are the weaknesses of Jacobi. And here, that what we call as the Bernoulli's principle was used. So, what is the Bernoulli's principle and how it is applied in this particular is servicing tennis? Can anybody tell me what is Bernoulli's principle?
Not the velocity increases, the pressure decreases. The velocity
Yeah.
increases, the pressure.
So what is said is the correct one. In any closed fluid system, if there is a sudden increase in the velocity, the pressure or the low pressure zone is created around it. Now again, you have to see this year's that Champions Trophy cricket. In a final, Jadeja was able to get 4 wickets, and the less he was giving less runs. Why he was? Ishan Sharma was giving more runs, but Jadeja was not giving. Why it was? Because
Pitch was
spin, off swing. So that spin, off spin, in swing, out swing, or leg swing, bowling in cricket is again based on this principle of Bernoulli. Then you might be knowing this year.